I think most United but general football fans will agree that David De Gea at some point in the near future is going to have to be replaced, as he just isn't the ball-playing keeper that Ten Hag's system relies on. The main disagreement comes as to whether it's a priority position and if it should be this summer or a future one where De Gea is replaced. And I myself think that if Diogo Costa from Porto is gettable this summer, and by gettable I mean if United have and are willing to pay the £66 million release clause in his contract, then United should take it as an opportunity to allow De Gea to leave, particularly because his contract is up at the end of the season, and he is on huge wages, almost £20 million a year, and at the moment it appears to be unclear whether De Gea would be willing to accept a pay cut and a short-term contract at United. But I am pretty realistic and I do see a scenario where United may have to extend De Gea's contract, however there would have to be specific conditions. Firstly, the contract ideally would be 1 year, but at most 2 years, because the last thing United need is to get to next year or the year after and have the funds and the opportunity to bring in a keeper like Costa, but aren't able to shift De Gea because he's still got 2 years or so left on his contract and is on a high wage package. So the first requirement would be that De Gea dramatically lowers his wage demands. I would say that £12.5 million a year or £240,000 per week is fair for a 1 year deal, or £9 million a year for a 2 year deal. If De Gea isn't willing to accept that, then I do think United should move on, rather than being forced to dish out a high wage for a player who, despite on current ability is definitely one of the best players in the team, is a player who certainly doesn't have a long-term future in the side. So the wage package would be the main stipulation, but also the contract length. A 1 year deal is ideal for United, though a 2 year deal would be the max if push comes to shove. But also I think even if De Gea does stay, United should be looking to bring in a ball-playing keeper as a second choice option, to not just be a stand-in for De Gea if he's absent, as Jack Butland and Tom Heaton currently are, but actively compete with De Gea for the starting spot. Someone like David Raya at Brentford would be perfect. He certainly isn't at De Gea's level in terms of shot stopping, but is a much better sweeper and ball-playing keeper, and so he would be the ideal option, as not only does he have a realistic prospect of being United's number one in the future, but he'd also be relatively cheap as well, with him having just 1 year left on his contract, and so I reckon you could get him from Brentford for around £15 million. And I do think that he would be willing to come in and initially be a number 2 and compete with De Gea for the starting spot. But with De Gea remaining as number 1, Ten Hag would have to continuously adapt his build-up play, not being able to play out in the same way that he did at Ajax. And so realistically, in keeping David De Gea for another season or two, United would essentially be pushing back how long it will take Ten Hag to fully implement his style and philosophy on the side, and just like with Arteta at Arsenal, it could be another 1 or 2 seasons before we see United in their full form, really able to mount a serious title challenge. As I said in previous videos, I am now doing full video and channel reviews, so if you want me to give you any advice or feedback for a specific video or for your whole channel, you can send an email to atlantisfootball96@gmail.com. But if you just enjoyed the video, you can check the description for more. You can subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you do get notified when the video comes out, and put your thoughts in the comment section below. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which will be in the description, for more content as well.